Everybody, it's your girl Precious. I'm actually kind of struggling with recording this review. I'm kind of tired. I'm feeling real lazy, but here I am doing it. So we're here with episode 4 of season 2 of Dear White People, and we're here to talk about my girl Coco. Now, at first, when I saw the movie, I hated Coco. I thought she was one of those type of blacks that are in the sunken place. Well, this was before Get Out, came out. But, I thought she was one of those black people who were in the sunken place. She was doing everything in her power to fit in with whites, even if it meant neglecting, you know, who she is and so on and so forth. But when the series season 1 of Dear White People came out on Netflix and you got to see her backstory, especially of how she and Sam were friends and then how they had a falling out, I understood Coco to the T. And it's not that she's in the sunken place. She's just sick and tired of trying to conform with who she should be as a black woman, and not even just as a black woman, but as a dark-skinned black woman. And she just constantly fights against it. And she knows what she wants. That's one thing I love about Coco. She knows what she wants, and she believes that she deserves the best, and she will always go out and get the best, no matter who's in her way or no matter what society tells her. Coco lives in a world that tells her as a dark-skinned woman she's not beautiful enough, she doesn't deserve the best, she should only settle for what is given to her, or whatever, she should just take whatever is out there. She shouldn't demand greatness from people, and especially greatness within herself. And she constantly fights back those messages. And we just see this evolution with her. Coco is such a complex character. She's even more complex than Sam in many cases. And I think that's why people have grown to love Coco and just love who she is. She may have some problems, but that's what makes Coco Coco. So in one thing I loved about her in season 1, she called out Sam on her on her bullshit. Um, Coco and Troy was supposed to throw some sort of a fundraiser, and Sam called them out on her show. And Coco, along with her white friends, Coco went and basically told Sam, imagine if the things that came out from your mouth came out from a real sister. And Sam was like, real sister, really? And Coco was like, the only reason why they allow you to say the things that you say is because you look more like them than you look like us. Dark skinned black people. That's called your light skin privilege. So until then, shut the fuck up about who can say what. And Coco walked out, and Sam was shook. She was shook. She didn't know what to say because Coco was right at that moment, and that just made me realize that Coco is aware of what is going on, around her. She's not blind to it. It's just that she's not this loud hoorah person like Sam is. And there's nothing wrong with what Sam is doing, but everybody has their own way of navigating through a world that is, sort of covered, or that is cursed by white supremacy. And Coco just chooses to do it in her own way. The episode where Reggie was confronted by the cop, and the cop put the gun in front of his face, Sam and everybody was like, oh, we need to go out there, we need to fight, we need to protest, we need to do this, we need to do that, blah, 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 blah. And nobody is really listening to what Reggie wants. And the only person that was there to comfort Reggie was Coco. Coco delivered this eloquent speech, and she was the only one that went up to Reggie and gave him a hug. She comforted him. And Reggie sort of hugged her back as if, this is what I needed. Nobody really gave Reggie the time to process what happened to him. Instead, everybody's like, oh, you gotta fight, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes when a traumatic event like that happens, sometimes you gotta take a step back. You gotta you gotta sit down and be like, damn, what the hell just happened to me? You gotta process that. And it was only Coco that was there to say, Reggie, are you okay? And she just went up and hugged him, and she was crying because she grew up in the hood where she saw this almost every single day of innocent black men being killed by the cops or being killed by gang members and so on and so forth. So she grew up in this type of environment, and she's just sick and tired of seeing it. She's sick and tired of talking about it, because if you keep talking about it and there's no action, or there's protests here and there, but then does anything really change? Because we're back to square one, where this incident happens again. And that's where Coco was coming from. Instead of her protesting, instead of her talking it out like Sam does, she wants to move up the social ladder so that she can make positive changes. She told Troy how she wants to be the first female, first African American president. And who knows if Coco wants to use that to actually bring forth positive changes within her community, within the country. So that's Coco's aspiration. So let's talk about her episode in season 2 of Dear White People. So Coco, she has sort of become the white whisperer as her friend. She has a white friend. I forgot what her white friend's name is, but her white friend called her Coco the white whisperer because as I've mentioned in previous videos, AMP is integrated, so you have some white students that are roommates of the black students, and there's of course a disconnect between the two. So the white students would go to Coco and be like, hey, I'm having this little problem with my black roommate, what should I do, or so on and so forth. So Coco will always be there to give them advice. One thing I noticed about Coco in this particular episode, she kept eating Twizzlers, and I don't recall Coco having cravings for Twizzlers. I mean, I just noticed it, but it never really jumped out at me. I really didn't think more to it. I didn't think there was more to it. So in the next scene, she goes into her room, and Kelsey comes in, and Kelsey is her roommate. I don't know if she and Kelsey were roommates in season 1. It was never revealed that, but I guess they've been roommates all along. So Kelsey comes in, and Kelsey is just talking. Kelsey is this ditzy, well, you think that she's a ditzy black girl, but in season 1, she came off as being very ditzy, very airheaded. Kelsey is like the dark-skinned version of Hillary Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's the best way I can describe Kelsey. She has this little white dog, and apparently somebody stole her white dog, and so she is complaining to Coco. She's worried about Coco. She tells Coco her worries about her dog, which is understandable. And she's talking and talking. Coco is really not listening to her. She's lying on her bed, just chewing away her Twizzlers. And then Kelsey says, since when do you start eating Twizzlers? You say that Twizzlers are horrible. And then Coco just shoots up. She sits up from her bed, and she's like, and she throws away the Twizzlers. And Kelsey is like, you've been acting very strange lately. And Coco's like, I'm not acting any strange. And then Coco looks at the garbage. Kelsey looks at the garbage, and Kelsey's like, why are you looking at the garbage? And Coco's like, I'm not looking at the garbage. And then she looks at the garbage again. Kelsey looks at the garbage, and then Kelsey bolts to the garbage. Coco tries to run after her, but she's a little too late. Kelsey goes to the garbage and she sees a positive pregnancy test. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, Troy got Coco pregnant. And so Kelsey is like, wait, how the hell did this happen? And Coco is like, through sex, Kelsey. And she's like, yeah, I know it's through sex, but you're the most careful person ever. Like, you double check your stuff, like, and all these other things. And Coco is like, you know, she had amazing sex with Troy. Troy eats booty like groceries. So she got caught up and stuff like that. So Kelsey starts telling Coco about these Trinidadian remedies that some Trinidadian women do when they get pregnant. And so I was like, oh shit, Kelsey Trini? Oh, okay. I did not know that. One of the main reasons why I love this episode is because you get to see Kelsey, you get to know her more. And you get to realize she's not this ditzy black girl, even to an extent. I think she puts this act on. I don't know, because in season 1, for me, she got on my damn nerves. I was like, my God, could you be this stupid? But in this episode, she's so intelligent, and she revealed to Coco that she's a lesbian. When she said that, I was like, wait, what? I was like, Kelsey's a lesbian? I did not see that coming. I really didn't. But yeah. And even Coco was surprised when Kelsey told her that she's a lesbian. But yeah, since Kelsey found out about Coco's pregnancy, every time when Kelsey comes inside the room, she always makes this ginger tea or something like that for Coco. Even there was a scene where she was giving Coco a massage. She was massaging Coco's feet, you know, and then she spoke in her Trini accent. I can't really do a good Trini accent. I can't. I'm not even going to attempt to. And she was basically telling Coco, you know, this is the most delicate time, you know, so you must relax to the best of your abilities. So Coco, on top of her dealing with her pregnancy, she's trying to get acceptance, or she's trying to join this elite club called Pegasus or something like that. And then on top of that, she's trying to become the president of, is it BSU or CORE? Shit, and I watched this episode like twice. See, this is why it's important for me to write notes down. I think she's trying to be president of BSU, the Black Student Union. Or is it CORE? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, then please correct me in the comment section. But I think she's trying to become president for BSU. The first time she told Kelsey about her pregnancy, Kelsey asked her, are you going to tell Troy? So Coco goes to Troy, and she's to Troy's room, and she wants to tell Troy about her being pregnant, but she sees Troy, he's smoking weed, and she just decides not to tell him because it's useless at this point to tell Troy about her pregnancy. So instead, she tells Troy to renounce his presidency and instead let the presidency be open for the rest of the BSU members to have a vote on who should be the president. And Troy says, yeah, sure, go ahead. So she forms this meeting with the rest of the BSU. And I saw that there were some white students that were also part of the BSU. And they all basically vote for her to be the president instead of James. James is this backless dude. And I guess he becomes the secretary, because basically anytime when Coco makes a declaration or something like that, James is there to write it down. So now she is the president of BSU, and she tried to gain admissions to Pegasus, but later on, yeah, she tried to gain admissions to Pegasus. Um, then the show, Dear Rights People, I think they spread this lie on this conversation. They fabricated this conversation that Coco and Sam had. So Coco and Sam were trying to do damage control, and Sam suggested for Coco to whatchamacallit, to invite this kid. Oh God, I apologize. I should have taken notes down. The original actor who played Lionel in the movie, he was also in Everybody Hates Chris, that show. He plays this pundit who's very pro-black, and Sam suggests for Coco to introduce this person to the campus to do some sort of damage control for the fabrication that the Dare Rights people created. So Coco says, let me think about it. She goes to her room. She's just overwhelmed with her taking this huge responsibility of being the president, and then she's also deciding what she should do with her pregnancy. So Kelsey comes inside the room. She starts pouring the ginger tea, and Coco starts to admit to Kelsey that she's scared. She doesn't know what to do. Should she abort the child, or should she raise the child? And Kelsey is giving her words of encouragement. And at the end, Coco is like, I feel so alone. And Kelsey's like, she grabs Coco's hand and she's like, you're never alone. I'm here with you. Whatever you decide to do, I'm here. And once again, we see this side, this very caring side to Kelsey. So then we see Coco go to Troy. Troy starts freaking out. He's like, okay, I don't think my dad is gonna kick me out. He loves you, and he just starts freaking out. So obviously Coco told Troy about her pregnancy. So then she basically grabs Troy and she tells him to calm the fuck down and to get his shit together. And then all of a sudden we see Coco leave A&P with her bags. Sam stops her, and Sam is like, I'm gonna miss you. So I'm like, wait, does Sam know that Coco is pregnant? So they hug each other. I love this complex relationship between Sam and Coco. I love it. Then we see Coco leave and go inside the car, and then it fast forwards 18 years later. So we see Coco's daughter, this beautiful girl. She's reading her acceptance letter to Winchester University. And then in the next scene, we see Troy, Coco, and the daughter. They're inside A&P. And Coco delivers this beautiful, heartfelt speech. And the last part of the speech, she says, the sky is even... the sky's your limit. The sky... Basically, she says, the sky is even too small for you, my sweet daughter. You are even beyond the sky. And that just pulled my heartstring. And then as she's saying this, when she's done with her speech, we go back to her. I forgot to mention this. Coco and Kelsey were in the abortion clinic, and we see Kelsey ask her, what do you want to do? And Kelsey was like, not Kelsey, Coco was like, I want to get out of here. And that's when we see this whole montage of her, the 18 years later, you see her with her daughter, the acceptance letter. So she's doing the speech to her daughter, and then it goes back to the abortion clinic. And Kelsey asks her, what do you want to do? and we hear the nurse call Coco's name, and Coco goes to where the nurse is, and she has the abortion. For some reason, I got emotional at that part. I even started shedding tears. I don't know why I did that. I think the reason why I did that is because we saw this, we saw Coco made it. We saw Coco, you know, I forgot what position she was. She had this, I forgot what position she had in this future. And we saw her with her beautiful daughter. Her daughter is intelligent. And we see her, Troy, and the daughter, and obviously Troy and Coco, they're co-parenting because as the daughter is walking inside A&P, Coco asks Troy how's Natasha, and and Troy says Natasha is fine and we're expecting a son. And Coco is like, oh gosh, we're gonna have to deal with another you, or she says something like that. So we see that they have a wonderful future together. So I don't know. I guess it broke my heart to see her go through with the abortion, because we saw this beautiful human being, and now we know that this beautiful human being is not going to exist. Um, so that's my Coco review. I don't know if I said anything meaningful. I just gave a recap, but I just find Coco to be one of the most complexing characters. And the reason why she is so complex is because she's one of those black characters who knows what is going on with what's going on around her, but she chooses to take a different approach when addressing, I guess, white supremacy and so on and so forth. It's even as if, like, I kind of see Coco as an infiltrator. Like, she's cool with the white people, she's cool with them, she makes friends with them, but when it gets down to business, she will be there to, to handle her business and so on and so forth. Um, and that's why I love her. She does not allow anybody to define who she should be, especially who she should be as a dark skinned woman. She even said it, was it last season or this season? She said how when people look at her, they think that she's ghetto, that she's a hood rat, that she's this, that she's that, but that's not who she is, and she would never give anybody the opportunity to dictate to her who she should be, and I love her for that attitude. She's just so confident within herself. And in a world that continuously tells black women, especially dark-skinned black women, not to value themselves, to have low self-esteem, Coco just defies that. I feel as if she just puts the middle finger up to the world, and she's saying, this is me, this is who I am, I'm gonna get what I want. And I would do it intelligently, I would do it with wit. I would do it with pettiness, because Coco is petty. I would do it and I will get what I want, no matter who is in my way. And if you tell me that I can't, I will prove you otherwise. I love her. I even love her better than Sam to a certain extent. To a certain extent, So yeah, that's Coco. Alright, so that's my review for Coco's episode. And also, as I said before, this episode, the reason why I love this series is because we're getting to see other characters. Kelsey, no doubt, was a background character in the movie and in season 1, and to see Kelsey in her own shell, to see Kelsey in her own light was just, I loved it. Just to see Kelsey in a different way, and I went from finding her annoying to finding her being one of the best supportive friends that anybody could have. She was so supportive of Coco, and who knows, after this we'll see Coco's and Kelsey's friendship even grow from this, because I did not expect this from Kelsey whatsoever. So I believe the next episode is is it Troy's episode or Lionel's episode? I will know when I put up the next video. I really want to get into Lionel's second episode because just like in this episode with Coco, we saw Kelsey in her light. In Lionel's second episode, we're gonna see Brooke in her light, and oh, Brooke, I love her, and I love this show because it shows complex black characters that are not a monolith. We have Kelsey, who is this. Well, we thought she was this ditzy black girl, but she is so much more than that. And then Brooke, who is this stuck up. Oh, I didn't like Brooke either. She's this stuck up black chick. But we see in Lionel's episode, she has this wild side to her. So I can't wait to talk about Brooke. So I will see you guys later. I saw Incredibles 2 on Sunday, so I will put up a review for that as well. I still have to do Infinity Wars review. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.